Your Morning Blitz begins now.
41-yard attempt. Snap and hold are good. The kick is good! Notre Dame has won the Orange Bowl, and Marcus Freeman is taking them to the championship game.
What a game! Welcome to the Blitz, Goose. Thick Rick, Kelly, good morning.
Yo.
Good morning.
If you are a fan of college football, I mean, you like to see games like that.
That's a good game.
Do we call it an instant classic?
Yeah. Although, I don't want to say it was sloppy at times, but I mean, most games are at some point.
You got those moments.
The thing was, the biggest thing to me was the last interception when when Notre Dame intercepted Penn State before they kicked the winning field goal. That DB it was an individual amazing play that he made to pick off that ball.
It was a great effort, yeah, absolutely.
So, I mean, he just made a phenomenal play to intercept that pass, and yeah. I mean, either team could have won. It's a great game.
And that's the way, when you get down to the four teams is how it should be. Hopefully we have another great game tonight.
No.
No?
Don't need a great game.
How about the possibility of Ryan Day versus Marcus Freeman in the national championship game? That would be just incredible. So Buckeye versus Buckeye.
It was just 2 years ago we opened the season at Notre Dame.
That's right.
Yeah.
And won on the final drive.
Yep.
To beat them.
So it all goes down 7:30 tonight for the Cotton Bowl.
ESPN.
Of course, we'll have Jeff Logan on a little bit later, coming up about 7:30 or so.
We are a 6-point favorite.
We are going to get all into the game.
Mm-hmm.
6 that seems like a big number for a CFP semi-final game.
Hope they cover it by a ton.
By a ton. You just want to blow out?
Yes.
Yeah, that is the best way to watch a game.
Absolutely.
You're not on the edge of your seat. You're not nervous. You're not, I don't like to die during a football game. I want to just be sitting pretty. I want to be enjoying some kind of snack and not feeling sick to my stomach.
Yeah, because if we get a blowout, I get this.
Have a great Friday, you mother.
Yeah.
Damn right.
Okay. Well, I hope it does happen because it will turn the Friday around because let me tell you, I need the day to change. It has not been a good start to the day.
Already? It's 6:08 a.m.
Let me tell you. Okay. First of all, thanks to everyone. I'm visiting Columbus. I've had a great time. I've never been here before. So yesterday, one of the coworkers here took me out, drove me around downtown, showed me Arena District.
Yeah.
Which is amazing.
Blue Jackets play.
Went up and down High Street, saw it all. He said, "Are you hungry?" I said, "Absolutely." He took me to Thurman's Cafe.
No kidding. You went to Thurman's,
on your first day.
Did you get a Thurman burger?
I got a burger. I didn't get the Terminator, but I got an amazing.
That's right, Terminator. You even know the name better than I do. The Terminator.
Absolutely amazing burger.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. I had a little dinner rendezvous. Went to Roosters.
That's
Nice.
local. Yeah, they're local.
Absolutely unbelievable. But I don't know what happened because the day started with the hottest butthole I've ever had in my entire life. Okay?
I mean, that can't be unexpected, dude. Look at your eating day yesterday.
I'm telling you what.
Wait, you did Thurman's and then Roosters.
I didn't know that they got the wing sauce from the embers of the flames in California. What in God's name happened? You could have took the one ring to rule them all and dropped it on my O-ring and it would have melted. It was the center of Mordor. And the worst part was it was after the morning shower. That is the worst. And then I get my stuff, I get my coffee, I leave the hotel. The driveway of the hotel was fairly steep. And I guess I didn't have the lid on all the way. And so the lid popped, the coffee moved, I swerved. And I guess one of Columbus's finest was sitting in the parking lot across the street at another hotel. Whoop, whoop.
No.
You got pulled over?
Kidding.
Because the coffee spilled, I swerved.
Oh my gosh.
Looked like an idiot. I need the day to turn. Everything's fine.
What was the conversation like?
I told him exactly what I was doing. I was on my way. I was going to hang out with you guys this morning.
Oh, that works.
Oh, so you pulled
no problem.
Do you pulled the? Do you know who I am?
Well,
card?
he says he's listened to you guys before, so
right.
he was very kind. And
know his name?
He's like, oh,
did
those
not.
poor two, they need help. You get on your way. You get on your way.
Do you have any idea what was it? Columbus Police? Do you know?
I think it was
a white. with blue.
I don't know.
Okay, that's all right.
I got the blinding lights behind me at 4 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah,
I have
that's
no
all you
idea.
need to
How are
know.
you gonna
know?
We don't need to know.
I just want to
department.
shout out to him, but if you don't know,
Yeah, I would have, absolutely. But no, it all worked out. He was very kind, so
That's
that was,
cool.
everything was good. But I need the day to turn around. So if we're going to have an OSU Notre Dame finale, great. Let's get the day turned around. So,
well, you know how Kelly likes to start a Friday. You don't want any wings.
I'm starving, Squid! What did you eat today? I ate nothing!
There's a little angry song for you to start out the day.
Feel better?
a little aggression. Yeah, let the aggression out. I like it. I like it. All right, let's get to your Blitz trivia. $25 Waterbeds and Stuff and Beds and Stuff Superstore gift card for you if you can answer today's Blitz trivia. And if you haven't heard, there's a new series of movies that is coming out. They've already started. They started with Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey.
Yep.
They're taking these children's characters and turning them into horror movies, basically.
Popeye the Slayer Man.
Yep, absolutely. Well, there's a new one coming out called Peter Pan's Neverland Nightmare. This is going to be the latest in the series. And, of course, they're going to take that story and twist it in all kinds of ways. And in this story, Peter Pan's Neverland Nightmare, one of the characters is going to be a trans heroin addict. So, the question for you to text...
Going for broke here, aren't we?
99700. First person to text the right answer. Which character from Peter Pan is going to be the trans heroin addict in the new movie, Peter Pan's Neverland Nightmare? If you know it, first person to text right now, 99700 will get you hooked up with that $25 gift card. $99.7 The Blitz. Good morning, it's the Morning Blitz. Goose, Kelly, Thick, Rick. Welcome to your Friday. It's the Blitz Trivia. $25 water beds and stuff and Beds and Stuff Superstore. Columbus's original vapor store up for grabs. The question was, they have a new movie coming out, Peter Pan's Neverland Nightmare. It's a part of that whole redo of kids' movies turned into scary movies. And one of the characters in this new Peter Pan movie is going to be a trans heroin addict. Kelly, do you have a guess?
I feel like it has to be Tink. Is it?
It is Tink.
It's Tink.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Dylan Ricketts, congratulations. We're going to hook you up. You're the first person to text 99700. You got the $25 gift card to Water Beds and Stuff and Beds and Stuff Superstore. Yes. Yeah, so in this new movie, Peter Pan's Neverland Nightmare, Tinkerbell is actually going to be born biologically male. His name is Timmy, but because he identifies as a female, Peter Pan won't let Timmy be one of the Lost Boys. Instead, he offers Timmy some magical fairy pixie dust, which, of course, will be the horse.
Yes.
The brown.
Oh, my God.
The smack. And this will then lead to some side effects, including Tinkerbell having decaying flesh and track marks on her arm. But don't worry, the director says not a villain at all. They're brainwashed. They don't know any other way. Do we need... Have you seen any of these horror remakes? The Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey?
Not yet.
No?
No.
I don't know if I have any desire to, really.
I'm not into it.
Well, I feel like, when I heard about it, I'm like, I'll check it just to see, but I feel like if I really wanted to see it, I would have done so already.
Yeah.
Yep.
And what was the other one you said? The Popeye the Slayer Man.
Yeah.
That's also coming.
Yeah, and that one, I guess, is in an old abandoned spinach factory.
No.
Yes, of course. Where else would you put it?
Can we not? Can they not come up with any more ideas?
Oh, no. They've completely run out. There's no creativity at all.
Well,
they have no ideas.
These characters are just coming into the public domain, so now they're able to use them in their own creations.
Free, yeah.
Well,
yeah.
But that's just it. Can't come up with my own character, but I can use this one. Now I can steal this character and use it for myself.
So what? Who cares?
Because there's crap.
Any of these movies could be made if you created, like, a kid's bear that comes to life and starts attacking people. Although that's kind of like a Child's Play Chucky thing, isn't it?
Yeah, that's okay. I don't think there are any real new ideas under the sun. I think it's all reimagined ideas. And, we've done it all, people. Now we have to go back and redo it in a better way.
But I was reading a story the other day that said the box office still hasn't recovered from the pandemic. It's not even close to pre-pandemic numbers yet. And it's like, well, look at the crap you're putting out. Because when you put out, the new Gladiator along with Wicked, box office exploded.
Right.
So put out quality movies and people will come see them.
I wonder if they need to back off of the movie making. Not that they will, but be more selective as to what you're going to put out.
Yeah.
Because you do get quality movies. Like you said, Gladiator 2 was amazing. Wicked was amazing. Put out good stuff.
Yeah.
And they'll show up for sure. Yeah. Speaking of remakes, do you want to do you have the audio pulled up from the band that they redid?
Oh, you went to GNR?
Yeah. Yeah, I want to, since we're talking about remakes, this came out today. I want to play this for you. In fact, I'm not going to say anything. I want Kelly to identify this song, okay? Because a guy on the internet went through and used AI to take some very popular songs and say, what would these songs be like if they were written and produced in the 50s? Okay?
Nice, yes.
So, I'm going to play a clip. This is a very popular song, a song that we all know. But what would it sound like if it was from the 50s?
Okay.
She's got eyes of the bluest skies as if they thought of rain. I'd hate to look into those eyes and see an ounce of pain. Her hair reminds me of a warm, safe place where as a child I hide.
You know it?
And pray for
Guns N' Roses?
Before it gets to the chorus, what is it?
Sweet Child of Mine?
Yeah.
Whoa, sweet child of mine. Whoa, sweet love of mine.
This is what AI should be used for. Do you have the second one?
Welcome to the jungle. We got fun and games. We got everything you want, honey. We know the names. We are the.
I don't know. I can see sitting in the caddy.
You may need.
Blaring this out.
If you got the money, honey, we got your disease. It's a jungle.
They did the whole album.
Yeah.
No kidding.
Watch it bring it to your.
But this isn't the guy, because there's another guy who does what There I Ruined It, I think.
Yeah, and the guy who did this, I didn't recognize the name, because the three I always go to are There I Ruined It, Munich, and oh God, now I forgot.
That's all right. So you didn't recognize this guy, though.
The third guy.
McClintock, Bill McClintock.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. He does the best. Bill does the best mashups. These other guys do the reimagine stuff in as the 50s and that type of thing.
Right.
You know.
But he redid the entire album.
Yeah, like that.
That's a lot of time on your hands.
I want to tell you that I don't need to hear the real Welcome to the Jungle ever again in my life. I've heard that too many times. Honestly, that has got.
Really?
I'm so burned out on that song. If I never heard it again, that would make the rest of my life better. It's just one of those songs I'm so sick of, but I like that version.
That's actually
it's cute.
That's a really great question. What's that one song you could go without ever hearing again?
Yeah,
because you've heard it so much. That's a good.
I have a small list, but
you have a small list. What?
I mean, yeah, I got several.
What would it be?
Pearl Jam, Jeremy.
Oh,
I'm just burn on it.
Okay,
you know.
I would say "Life Is a Highway" would be up there.
I haven't heard that in a long time.
I feel like I want to hear that now.
Both the Tom Cochrane and the Smash Mouth version.
The highway.
Oh no, Rascal Flatts, not Smash Mouth. Rascal Flatts.
All right,
did their version.
You don't like that, huh? You're done with that one.
I'm kind of over it.
Wait, Rascal Flatts did a version of Life Is a Highway? Is that what you're saying?
Yep.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yep. And also the fact that it's like a 5.5-minute song.
Okay.
And I don't know how.
Going.
Yeah, I don't know how many times you can say "Life is a highway." It's like, okay, I get it. Yeah, life is a highway.
Got it.
We're going down the highway.
Check.
Yeah, for sure.
It's the Morning Blitz.
And now it's time for I've Got Something.
Let's see if these dummies have anything worthwhile for us.
All right, we're all celebrating. Well, a lot of people are going to be celebrating today.
Okay.
I don't know if you want to call it celebration, actually.
All right.
It's actually kind of a downer because if you don't know, today is Quitter's Day. All the people that made New Year's resolutions.
Oh.
Today is the day most likely that you're going to give up on them.
10 days in?
10 days in, that's all it takes.
I mean, I'm not shaming anyone because I made a New Year's resolution that really never got off the ground at all. So,
what was it?
that I was going to dust off my exercise bicycle, my recumbent bicycle in the basement and start riding it every day. It's day 10. I haven't even gone down in the basement.
No, it's not too late to start.
Okay.
That didn't sound very convincing.
Hey, nobody asked you.
Well, that's funny you said that because it's so true. You don't need to make a New Year's resolution. Any month of the year, any day of the year, you can start doing whatever it is you need to do.
And that's where I'm at. I didn't make any New Year's resolution because I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it.
Yeah.
And the fact of the matter is, I'm probably not going to do it. So why even bother?
I'm shooting for 2026. So that's.
They do say if you don't want to quit, then there are a couple things you can do when you make these resolutions. First of all, don't get motivated for the wrong reasons. Or these are some reasons why people may quit in being motivated for the wrong reasons. Don't do it for someone else. Let's say you want to lose weight. Don't do it for someone else.
Right.
Do it for yourself. When your goal no longer resonates with you, maybe you want to climb the corporate ladder. Maybe you want to do better at work. But you're like, you know what? I value my family time. I don't want to put in 80 hours a week.
Right.
So it's all right to give up on that. And then finally, if reaching your goal has exhausted your resources.
Oh, yeah.
Don't buy a whole bunch of expensive workout equipment for your home if you're going to put all that money on your credit card and then you're paying off debt and interest and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So
if you've got stairs, you got exercise place.
You do.
You just ride downstairs.
I know one thing I'm going to start in the spring is I want to get a bit more flexible for my golf swing this year. So I'm going to start doing. They have chair yoga.
Oh, I saw that.
Chair yoga on Instagram.
I want to start doing chair yoga.
You have to let me know about that.
Okay.
Why are you waiting until spring?
Because right now I'm not mentally in the place to start.
Ah, there it is.
Yeah, do you see how he likes to get up into your personal business? I never would have asked you such a personal question.
I was just confirming what you said at the beginning of the conversation.
Kelly, what you got?
Is Rainn Wilson better than everyone? He might be. All right. So Rainn Wilson, we all know him as Dwight on The Office. All right. So he's hugely popular from that show, but he launched after that show was over. He's focused an enormous part of his energy on his spiritualism. He practices the Baha'i faith. He wrote a book and does a podcast called Soul Boom, both the book and the podcast called Soul Boom. And it explores the potential for this giant spiritual revolution in the world. So he's very spiritually focused. Well, this guy's house burned down in the fires out in LA. Man. And he posted a video yesterday, basically going room by room. Well, let me just let you hear it.
Well, this is not something I ever thought that I would be doing. Walking through the remains of my bedroom and my closet and my bathroom. There's some kind of valuable lesson here. I'm not sure what it is. Kind of death and fire teaches you a lesson about the impermanence of life. And I'm just wondering in the comments below what lessons from this fire you think I might be undergoing. I might be learning. I'd love to hear from you. It's all a little much for me. I walk into this zone. I get so overwhelmed. My brain just goes offline. I can barely process it.
Yeah, so he's basically like, my entire life's burned to the ground. What do you think I might be learning from this? What should I be learning from this? Somebody who's like, he is actually looking sort of zombie-like, he can't even take it in. It just tears your heart up to see somebody that you know and love from TV. You know, I know that a ton of people are suffering, not just the rich and famous, but I just thought, what a perspective to have on your stuff. Is going to be an enormous undertaking to rebuild, to deal with all the insurance hassles you're going to have to deal with, and to get your life back to where it was a week ago. You know how devastating it is when you don't even need visuals. Just hearing his voice walking through his house is absolutely heartbreaking. It's so sad. Yeah. And he didn't have that music on. He isn't that dramatic. I think a news station put that music on underneath it. But I don't know. I really made me sit back and think, wow. That's a higher level of living. Yeah, to be able to think about what lesson can I learn from this instead of, oh my God, everything I own is gone. And just saying, I value everyone's opinion. What do you think? Yeah. What's your, what do you think I should be learning here? I thought, well, that is a nice person. Anyway, that's my thing. All right, I've got something. Kelly, we were just on a little bit ago. I know you loved Cher when you were a little girl. You were obsessed with Cher.
She put out a memoir. I believe you read it already?
I did.
All
yes,
of it?
I did. Every single word.
Okay, well, she was on Jimmy Kimmel Live promoting her memoir.
Part 2, I hope.
Oh, it just says promoting
It's a two-part memoir?
It's a 2-part, baby. We're getting part 2 this year.
Oh, maybe that's what she was promoting then.
Where's intermission? Where does the first book end?
Intermission ends near the end. It's the end of the 70s. She has just dated Gene Simmons. She is way past the Sonny era. She's past the Greg Allman era. She was into the Gene Simmons era, and I would say it was like about 1978. They
so
dropped
this
off.
is pre-mask.
Pre-mask.
Oh, yeah,
pre-movie.
for sure.
She's sort of like dabbling in trying to get back to her passion of acting. So she's, I think she was good friends with Martin Scorsese, and that's sort of how the book ended, is that she'd had a conversation with him, and then we'll launch into the next segment of her life.
Okay.
Well, she talked about losing her virginity with Jimmy Kimmel.
You wrote about losing your virginity to a guy in Toluca Lake.
I did?
Yeah. Which is right. This is not far from here.
No.
Do you think we could find the spot? Like, do you think you would know?
No, I wouldn't. I don't remember the guy.
You don't remember the guy? He hasn't reached out to you?
No.
She could not remember who she lost
Now,
her
you
virginity
said
to.
she lost her virginity to Jimmy Kimmel. That's what I thought we were going. I'm like, Jimmy Kimmel was not in her memoir.
Oh, no. She was She was on Jimmy Kimmel talking about losing her virginity.
Yeah,
but she cannot to this day remember who she lost her
Well,
virginity to.
I do think she was quite young, if I recall.
14.
The book. Yeah, 14 years old. That was a pretty young, and I think it was a neighbor.
Well,
Yeah.
she's what, 73 now?
Yeah, something like
Something like that? I
she was
don't blame her for not remembering.
So good in The Witches of Eastwick.
She's, I'll tell you, I think she's a better, I love her voice. I am a humongous Cher fan, but I think she even outshines her voice as an actress. I love her.
Was it Moonstruck?
Yeah.
Moonstruck,
Yeah.
yes.
Yep.
Yes, Silkwood. She was incredible in that. Just amazing.
All right.
Aw.
Well, part 2, if you're as excited as Kelly is for the Cher memoir. Keep an eye out for that. 99.7 The Blitz. It's the Morning Blitz. Goose, Kelly, Thick, Rick. Good morning. Welcome to your Friday in your research of the day. Harvard Medical School has collected data on adults over 18, and they have found that people who use social media are the most of the day irritable. The more often you're on social media, the more irritable you are.
Hey, screw you.
Wait, Kelly, hold on. That's something I know about Goose. He does not count TikTok as social media.
Oh, really?
See, now she's your friend again.
Social media is entertainment. I'm sorry, TikTok is entertainment.
Entertainment, but there is a social aspect. When you get in the comments and stuff.
There is. You're correct. So avoid the comments.
And then you're not on social
And then
media.
you're on social media. Watch the funny videos. Watch the I make the face, you make the sound videos. Do what I do. Collect a whole bunch of recipes.
Is that right?
And move along. Oh, yeah.
No kidding. TikTok
Absolutely.
good for recipes.
Absolutely.
Really?
Or
my gosh, yeah.
new cooking techniques. Try this or try that.
All right.
Yeah,
So
for
good.
sure. Let's see. They compared people's social media use to how they scored on various mood tests. Those who said they use social media most of the day scored 3 times higher on the irritability scale than those who said they never use social media. And to be clear, the study didn't prove causality. So it's not certain whether social media makes people more irritable or irritable people use social media more.
Oh.
I absolutely believe it's social media makes people more irritable. Duh. You can't go online without being bombarded with messages.
Yep.
And a good half of them are going to be things that you don't agree with. You're going to get worked up. How can this person say this? Well, how can this person think that? And you're going to get worked up about it. Triggered.
Like, oh, must be nice to constantly be on vacation at the beach.
That too. That's a whole
with
nother
your
subject.
perfect body and your bathing suit that costs $500.
and I think the keeping up with the Joneses aspect absolutely has something to do with it.
Oh, well, that's kind of been around forever. I mean, that keeping up with the Joneses, this is just another way to perpetuate it.
They see your face from across the world.
That's what I mean.
Right, exactly.
That's what I mean.
It used to be if your neighbor got a new car, sure, that was aggravating, or you wanted to keep up with the Joneses. Now you're seeing it from everywhere.
Yeah, like I got to be jealous of a gal in Abu Dhabi. Like, no,
I got to have that purse. I got to have that car. I got to have those shoes.
Yeah, forget the car that your neighbor got. Now you're looking at teenagers going on private jets because daddy bought them a trip to Aruba or something. So it is way worse.
That's why we all loved watching the Fire Festival video footage. It was like, all you rich people eating a cheese sandwich.
Yep. Let's see. Researchers did say that the research really points in the direction of social media having an impact on externalizing emotions like anger and irritability, which I totally see. So, if you want your blood pressure to come down a little bit, lay off social media a little bit. I know it's difficult, but...
Yeah. It's funny, though. Kelly likes the targeted ads.
Oh, I purchase off targeted ads. Target ads to me, absolutely. You can have whatever information I'm doing online, I'm assuming people see anyway. My search history, all that. I'm not ashamed of any of it. In fact, please use it for my good. I just bought face cream from a relentless ad over the last 9 months from a company called Il Maquillage. And ladies, you know what I'm talking about because at least they're on my feed always. I finally broke down and bought it. It was $60 frickin'. But I want to tell you, my face is going to be looking luxurious in about 2 weeks.
Oh, is it?
Yes.
All right. Well, I want to know. You need to update on this because I want to know if it was worth the $60 that they finally got you to spend.
They finally got me. I did a teeth whitening system that they got me on, and let me tell you something. That did not work.
Right. Yeah.
It didn't.
You and my girlfriend Nora need to stay far away from each other because it's the same thing.
Same thing?
Yep. It's I didn't know I need this, but I do.
100%. Yeah.
Well, now, did you go and check reviews on it before you bought it?
Yes, I do. I do look at reviews.
Okay, because when I see, you see those things, you go, oh, this sounds too good.
Well, but
and then
the thing is,
probably is, but then you go check the reviews, and everybody's like, yeah, this is legit.
Here's what I do: you got to look at like the 3-star reviews. You can't look at the 5-star reviews because they're plants.
Yeah, right. Absolutely.
The 3-star reviews are the ones you need to look at.
Yeah. I got to say, as a fan of stand-up comedy, it was probably a year ago, maybe a little bit less. I got a chance to go see Pete Holmes. And it was in a theater, but it wasn't a huge theater, so it was still a little condensed. And he comes out, grabs the microphone, and the first thing he says in the microphone, he goes, "Dildo, pink dildo,
what?
Giant pink dildo."
Oh my God!
Enjoy your targeted ads tomorrow.
And now, 3 things you need to know before you go.
The confirmed number of deaths from the Palisades and Eaton fires in Los Angeles County is up to 10. Multiple bodies reportedly found in the rubble of the Palisades fire yesterday. At least 5 infernos continue to blaze simultaneously around LA. Roughly 33,000 acres are burning. More than 10,000 structures have been destroyed. Economic losses are estimated in the tens of billions. Yesterday afternoon, a new fire ignited and spread into Ventura County. LA is smothered in smoke and ash, and these fires remain largely uncontained. Firefighters from as far away as Canada are providing support. Goose, you showed that picture to us of the Santa Monica Pier.
Santa Monica Pier.
What an otherworldly...
Like you said, apocalyptic
picture. It just is, you can't believe it. You can't believe it. Go ahead.
The Kenneth fire, the police are saying was intentionally set.
Okay. Is that the new one from yesterday?
Yeah. This is Senior Lead Officer Charles Denzel.
What we know right now is that the incident started here, and about 30 minutes later, a suspect was detained over in Woodland Hills. area by citizens. It's being investigated.
Oh, the citizens caught him. I just caught that part.
Yeah, the citizens caught him.
Because, Henry Winkler went on social media yesterday and said an arsonist was doing this, and they were saying, no, that's not true. There is no evidence of that. And then this happens, and then the police are saying, yeah, it was.
For at least one of them.
Well, at least that one,
There's multiple, obviously.
But so what Henry said was, he said there's an arsonist out there.
Right.
Is what he said.
Yep.
And people just started slamming him for it.
Well, the National Guard is being deployed around Los Angeles to stop looting. The LA County Sheriff's Department announced an overnight curfew in effect in the Palisades and Eaton fire evacuation zones from 6 p.m. until 6 a.m. So far, at least 20 suspected looters have been arrested, and about 400 sheriff's deputies are also on duty with the National Guard specifically to patrol for looters and any other suspicious activity. Well, you can see in the people, in the news interviews and the things, as this sort of some of the shock wears off from these people's entire, lives being burned to the ground. The anger at the situation is absolutely boiling over. They are calling people to account, like California's governor, LA's mayor. Why was a $17 million cut made to the LA Fire Department's budget? Why is the water supply completely inadequate? And now we have somebody who's gotten received a lot of ire from the public. A man named Keith Wasserman. He is a California real estate executive. He lives in a beautiful home in the Pacific Palisades, and he posted on X this week that he would pay any amount to private firefighters to protect his home. Well, as you can imagine, people are really angry, saying basically he has a lot of nerve. How dare he try to divert any potential firefighting help from the community to use just for himself, that he's selfish. Then they went, of course, down and into his old posts, and he said something. Here it is. One of his old posts they retweeted, boasting that, quote, real estate ballers don't pay property taxes. And the people were like, oh, good, you don't pay property taxes, which are used to fund the fire department. So people are really mad at this guy. He posted then after that, hey, Mom, look, I'm going viral. And then he just deleted everything because he was just getting absolutely roasted in the comments.
You can't... If you want to boast about your money, okay, people do that. But then when it comes to something like a natural disaster, you can't then go on to try and get special privileges. You're going to get called out for that.
Yeah, you've got to do that behind the scenes.
Yeah, people are going to look down. I guarantee it happens.
Yes, it does happen.
And I think anyone with an exuberant amount of money would do anything they could for them and their family.
Right.
But if you're going to put it out there like that,
don't do it.
You got to expect the backlash.
Right.
Well, it was like the rich people getting the money during COVID. The PP.
Oh, right, the PPL, whatever it was.
The loans.
PPL loans. Yeah, for sure. You just got to be real careful when it comes to stuff like that. People are going to call you out on it. That's just how it is.
You should be, because you're tone deaf. You can't make that statement in public, my man.
Right.
All right, those are your three things.
99.7 The Blitz. It's the Morning Blitz. Goose, Kelly, Thick, Rick, good morning. We've got your Sebastian Maniscalco tickets up for grabs. We've got Chuck on the phone. Good morning, Chuck.
Good morning.
All right, Chuck. We're going to play a new game called I Call BS. All right? It's very simple.
All right.
I've given Thick some words to define. All you have to do is figure it out whether or not Thick actually knows the definition of these words or not. It's just
so you didn't look them up, Thick. You're just...
Oh, I know these.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Do you think? All right. Thick has the biggest, best words.
Okay.
So, here, we'll go with the first word. Chuck, the first word is collywobble. Thick, what is the definition of collywobble?
Well, Chuck will relate, because this is when a guy, how he walks when he gets hit in the junk. He does a collywobble.
Okay.
You've seen a guy get hit in the junk, or what he does. I mean, first he goes to the ground.
Right.
Then he kind of walks with the knees together, like trying to get back,
Okay.
Collywobble.
All right, so when you get up and you walk away, that is the collywobble.
Yes.
When you get... How you walk after you get kicked in the junk.
Yes.
All right. Chuck.
Well, wow.
Do you believe that is the definition of collywobble?
Well, in all my years, I've never been kicked in the junk.
Oh,
but
really?
I mean, it sounds like it could, sound like that. I'm going to say, yeah, I guess maybe it is.
Kelly, do you believe that?
No, I think collywobble is like a British insult. Like, mate, don't be a collywobble.
Really?
Yeah.
It's not bad. Not bad. Both definitions, very good. But neither are correct. No.
All right.
Collywobble is actually like a bellyache or a weird feeling in your stomach.
Oh, okay. I love that. Got a little collywobble going on.
Yep.
That's what you had this morning, right?
Yes,
after
absolutely.
your shower?
Yeah, after the shower.
Little collywobble?
There is nothing worse than an after-shower collywobble.
Yes, you are right.
The collywobble gas.
Right.
Oh, gosh.
All right, here we go, Chuck. Word number 2. The word is gubbins.
Gubbins.
Gubbins. Thick Rick, what's a gubbins?
Okay, so when you buy a pack of gum and you pull out an individual stick of the gum, the wrapper on that gum, that is gubbins.
Okay. I mean, I don't know.
Okay. Chuck, the wrapper around the gum after
the individual stick
out of the package.
Yeah.
Is that a gubbins?
No, that doesn't sound right to me.
Doesn't sound right. Kelly,
Me neither. I think it's basically a nickname for the governor, like Governor DeWine. Hey, Gubbins. Like, because we really got to know him over COVID, and now we can all just say, hey, Gubbins.
What up, Gubbs?
Wait, slang for governor? Is that what
Yeah,
we're saying?
slang for governor. Gubbins.
I like that definition.
What's up, Gubbins?
Gubbins? Both of those are incorrect. No. The Gubbins, or a Gubbins, is an object that has no value, like a useless gadget.
Oh,
So that means
okay.
Chuck got it right.
Yes.
Oh, Chuck did get it right. Yes,
he
correct.
did.
He did.
Yeah.
Yes, he said it was
All
not.
right.
All right.
Yeah.
Final word. Here we go. Flibber-tigabit. The fligger-tigabit. Thick Rick, what is the definition of fligger-tigabit?
It's usually going to be a young kid, probably, because it's somebody who talks, silly or incessantly. They're a flibber-tigabit.
They're a fligger-tigabit.
Silly little flibber-tigabit. Just talk.
Chuck, do you believe that fligger-bit?
I've heard that phrase. Yeah, I've heard that phrase.
Oh, my God!
Really?
Wow. See, I thought it was like the little piece of a...
grandmother.
I didn't even heard. I thought it was
My
a little...
grandma used to call me
Hey,
that.
I'm talking.
Sorry.
A little piece of splinter that you get left in the skin. That's the flibber-tigabit.
The fligger-tigabit.
Yeah, that's what I think it is.
So,
but
Chuck, you said
I'm wrong.
Your grandma used to call you that?
Yeah, my grandma, when I was little, used to play around, used to call grandkids that stuff. We were being silly and just chitty-chat. Yeah.
Oh, Granny comes in handy.
That is...
I hadn't heard that. In 30-some plus years. But I
Wow.
knew.
Can't believe you actually heard that.
Granny
I'll tell you what,
through.
you hearing it is much better the last time I heard it because I actually took off my pants and she goes, oh, look at that little fligger-tigabit.
And that was the end of your fourth engagement?
That was the end of my fourth engagement. Yes. It's the Morning Blitz. Goose, Kelly, Thick, Rick. Good morning. Welcome to your Friday. We finally hit the double digits. We're at a delicious 11 degrees right now.
Have a great Friday, you mother...
I know we've got snow rolling in a little bit later. They said about 1 o'clock, but right now the map is showing probably a little bit later than that. So drive home might be
Yeah, a little bit dicey.
interesting.
A couple inches, maybe?
Yeah, another couple, 3, 4, depending on where you're at.
Yeah, be prepared for that. Let's get to the jackass of the day. All right. There's a serial butt slapper on the loose in Colorado. A woman in Denver, the suburb of Denver called Lakewood, was out jogging on New Year's Day when a guy drove up behind her on an e-bike and gave her the old right across the way. And you would think, maybe possibly, it was like, good job. Way to get that run in. Way to start the new year off right. But no, unfortunately, later that day, he did it again to a different woman in the same area. And now there have been at least 2 other incidents that have been reported of this guy doing a drive-by butt slap there in Lakewood. I mean, I'm all about a good butt slapping, but usually you got to know the person.
Yeah.
I feel like that's a crime that's going to escalate. Like, what makes you feel like you can pull up alongside a woman that you don't know and smack her butt?
Whatever you want, Daddy.
someone who's not right in the head.
That is a crime that's going to escalate, I feel like, because you're getting excited about your little caper, all right?
Mm-hmm.
And you're going to do it multiple times, but then all of a sudden it's not going to give you the same kick it gave you on January 1st. You're going to have
to escalate?
I absolutely think it's going to escalate. This guy needs to be taught a lesson early on here.
Well, thankfully they do have pictures of the jackass, and they're keeping an eye out in the area for him. In fact, we've got a double dose of Jackass of the Day because I cannot pass this story up. This is what we call a WTF. What the Florida? Police in Polk County, Florida are looking for a man and a woman who stole around $500 worth of cleaning supplies from a Family Dollar store. First of all, it's a dollar store. If you're stealing $500 worth, that's a full cart.
You've wiped them out.
Right. How do you get away with $500 in cleaning supplies? Well, they did so because the guy went down the cleaning aisle, basically stuck his arm out, and just walked and just dig, put everything right in the cart to them wheel them out. You would think, though, you would notice if someone was walking out of the front door of the store with a cart full of cleaning supplies that they didn't pay for. Mm-hmm. However, the store employees did not notice him because his accomplice, his female friend, was in the other aisle dropping a deuce in the middle of the store.
As a diversion?
What? Yes! What?
Well, that was perfectly timed now, wasn't it? You can't force that kind of thing, so...
Let me tell you, I have watched a lot of copper crime movies in my day.
Okay.
Ocean's 11, I think, is genius. Yes, you need a diversion. I don't know if pooping in the middle of aisle 3 is the right way to go.
Do you think that these two were like, well, you've got to wait until she actually has to go, right? I mean, so you're sitting in the parking lot? Are you waiting at home and then the urge strikes and you're like, let's get to the dollar store now.
You gotta go right now.
Come on, Joe, we gotta go.
You gotta go.
Gotta go right now. That is a well-timed robbery for sure. Police in Polk County, Florida are still looking for them. There is footage of them in the store on the surveillance camera. Please post that online.
All year I've been proud of our men, and they're men. They really are. I mean, there's a lot of guys on this team who played a lot of football, and they do play for each other. And that's one of the things that I continue to talk to this team about is, one, you win, you move on, you get to play together for another week. And I think the second thing is there's great stories individually within this team and collectively as a team. But the only way that the story is told about your team is if you win. That's the reality.
Welcome to the Morning Blitz. Goose, Kelly, Thick, Rick. We know as of last night, Notre Dame is on their way to the CFB National Championship game. And now we got to find someone for them to play. And it all goes down tonight. And according to all the experts, by a 6-point margin.
OH!
It's going to be your Ohio State Buckeyes. And we are honored to be joined once again in the studio. Hall of Famer, Jeff Logan.
Good morning, Goose, and
How are you,
welcome.
sir? Thank you so much.
This is an institution on Friday mornings before Buckeye games, right? We've been doing this for a long time.
I'll tell you how exciting it is to be able to be in this studio and be here on this particular day.
Yeah, man.
When we know what's going down tonight.
It's a big night.
Cool.
You know, this is kind of a historic game because this is the longest college football season in the history of college football based upon the new playoff format. Now, this is going to be repeatable. They're going to continue to do this, and God willing, they'll probably expand it. It'll go from 12 to 16 eventually, and more people will be invited to the party. But what a terrific opportunity Ohio State has later tonight against a really, really good Texas football team to be able to play for the national championship. And listening to Ryan Day's comments there just a moment ago, Thick and Kelly, the attitude that he had is that your team is only going to be remembered for their wins. Yeah. All right. But I can tell you this, as a former player, you remember the losses more than you remember the wins.
Absolutely.
That's wrong.
Yeah.
I mean, it's unfortunate that that's the way, but that's kind of what defines you. And these guys have an opportunity that not everybody thought they would have, especially with the way the regular season ended with the game against the team up north, right?
Oh.
I mean, at that point, Ryan Day was this close, tiny, to losing the locker room. They had a very emotional moment after that game. A lot of pointing fingers, yelling, screaming, a lot of disappointment.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah.
Well, and not only in the locker room, but Ryan Day kind of turned into Frankenstein, if you will, because the pitchforks and the torches were out.
No doubt about it. No doubt. And what I thought was appropriate and what I thought was accurate was that Ryan Day and the coaching staff took the blame. And, I made the comment after that game that the only thing you could do, it was not about words. It was about actions. All right. What were you going to do? And they were either going to lose the team or they were going to be where they are today. And no one knew what that recipe was. How are you going to make that happen? I had made the suggestion that on Sunday morning, what they should have done is gone to the store and bought a mirror for every player, every coach, and put it on their locker, put it on their door, and let them walk into that facility on Sunday after that game against a team up north and walk in there and not say a word, but just let them look in the mirror. Think of how impactful that would be.
Yeah.
Did I do my job? And what do I want to have happen the rest of the season? And right now, this team has put themselves in a position where they're playing their best football at the right time.
I mean, the Rose Bowl was absolutely glorious. Glorious! It was a blast to watch. Was it?
Yes.
Both games were. Yeah.
But the Rose Bowl is so special.
Yeah.
In terms of its setting, its history. All of it was beautiful, and it's really sad to see all the wildfires and everything else going on out there right around the Rose Bowl, and those poor people. That's just so unfortunate. But man, what a great celebration that was for Ohio State to go out and have that kind of a game against the only undefeated team in all of college football.
And obviously, like you stated, the fires. Of course, it is all about the people, 100%. However, one of the headlines was that the Rose Bowl is in
danger.
Big danger.
Yes.
Gosh,
and
I can't imagine.
Exactly. And that would be ungodly. Of course, again, it's about all the people. But man, the Rose Bowl, come on.
No, there's a lot of sentimental value burning up,
Yes.
All over the place.
It's awful.
There's certain things that are replaceable, some things that are insurable, others are irreplaceable,
Right.
and the Rose Bowl would certainly be one of those icon places.
Something irreplaceable for my husband is what I brought in to have Jeff Logan sign is the 1975 Rose Bowl Ohio State versus USC program. My husband was there with his brother when he was a kid and his father, and he has saved this all these years. He went through literally every picture in here and told me a story.
How good is that?
Jeff, he said it would be my great honor if Jeff Logan would sign this program, and you indeed signed it on your gorgeous picture, Jeff Logan.
With lots of pretty hair.
Look at those locks.
Gorgeous locks. it was really neat, so thank you for doing that.
You're very welcome. That was my freshman season, and quite an experience going to the Rose Bowl. When I came out of high school, being recruited by a lot of really good programs, including the likes of Notre Dame and Penn State, and the team up north.
Yeah.
I mean, part of that mix. The final decision I made was I wanted to go to Ohio State, not because it was a place where I could go play right away, because there was this guy Archie Griffin that played the same position.
He was in your way for a while.
Yeah.
I needed to move him out. Yeah, exactly. But I wanted to play in the Rose Bowl. I mean, that was the goal.
Yes.
And at that time, if you didn't go to Ohio State or you didn't go to Michigan,
Yeah.
you weren't going to the Rose Bowl.
Yeah.
It wasn't going to happen.
Yeah.
It
Unless
was
you're going to go play for USC.
It was the big 2 and the little 8.
Right.
Yep.
Right? I mean, that's the way that it was.
Yep.
So go to Penn State and start and be forgotten forever, or go to Ohio State, wait your turn, and like you said, get into the Hall of Fame.
And all these years later being asked for your autograph.
By Kelly Quinn.
By
That's
Kelly Quinn.
all that matters to me. I've got a perfect day.
And let me tell you, as a visitor to Columbus, first time here, football fan, but you started right around my birth year,
sure,
in terms of college football. So I had to do a little Googling. I wanted to make sure I knew what was going on. And the Googles, were your birthday cakes made out of cinder blocks? Like, that is the strongest jawline I have ever seen in a picture before. I would not want to face this man running at me full speed.
I had good genes, and at my size, the thing I needed to do, though, was avoid contact as much as possible, run away from people at a high level of speed, and that's what saved me for so many years. But
and Jeff's a legacy football player. His dad played for Ohio State.
That's right.
Amazing.
Yeah. You said you had good genes. Huskies, right?
Yeah, Husky. Oh, are you kidding me? You know the story.
I wore them, too.
Oh, yeah. I
wore Huskies,
I was
too.
so embarrassed to walk into the department store and go to the back room where they had the Huskies. And you're like...
You turned that into quite a career.
Well, I guess so.
So going back, you were talking about, that day after the loss to Michigan, what were they going to do? And Ryan Day was asked about, because a lot of the media and the fans, we're talking about the pitchforks were out for Ryan Day and all that. But college football fans in general had pretty much discounted us at that point. It's like,
why not?
That's their second loss. They just got beat by, 5-6 Michigan. They were saying, but now you're favored to win it all. And here's what Ryan Day had to say about that.
Same guys in a room as was there a month ago. And, nothing that's happened in the past or really the noise that's around the building has anything to do with our preparation and our focus and our process. And, we're banking on this to be our best football of the season. And we're just going to focus on the execution. And that's it. We're 2 games away from a national title. And the Oregon game is over. And the only thing that matters is this game right here, playing against Texas.
He sounds all business to me.
Yeah, well, it is absolutely right. We talked about the fact at the end of the season that everything most likely was still in front of this team because we knew they would be one of the final 12. We didn't know what the alignment would be or anything else. Hopefully hosting a home game, which we did. It's successfully beating Tennessee. But again, everything remains in front of you. You've got an opportunity that may never come around again for this group of football players. Every kid in that room, I want you to think about this. Guys that have been there 5 or 6 years, everyone in this room, none of them has a ring. Yeah. None of them has a title. Mm-hmm. None of them has a championship. And I'm not talking about the natty. I'm talking about any level.
Gold pants.
Yet they've been one of the most successful programs in that 5 to 6 year period of time. But there's nothing to show for it.
Yeah.
And so not that it has to be a national championship to be successful, but to not have a Big Ten championship in that era.
Or even a pair of gold pants.
And until Oregon came into the Big Ten this season as a regular member of the Big Ten, the only team that Ryan Day had ever lost to as a head coach in the conference was a team up north.
Yeah.
Hey, nobody could touch them. Yet that's not good enough to be able to win a Big Ten championship. So much on the line for these kids that 10 years later, 20 years later, I can sit here and tell you that the next year when we went to the Rose Bowl, 1976 Rose Bowl, we were ranked the number 1 team in the country. Mm-hmm. All right, now no playoffs, but we were number 1 in the country, playing UCLA in the Rose Bowl. And we'd already played UCLA in the regular season and beat them by 3 touchdowns. We lose.
Oh.
All right. The Big Ten championship ring that I own has a band around the outside of it that is blank. That's where the words were supposed to go, the letters, national champions. Oh. And so that blank band around that ring,
it hurts to today, doesn't it?
It's awful.
Why'd they do that?
For all the right reasons,
I guess.
Did they have both AP and coaches polled back then?
Yes,
okay.
Yeah.
Because you had to be the unanimous
number 1.
You had to be
unanimous.
Right.
And we were in the position.
Going in, yeah.
Archie Griffin's going to be a senior that year.
Oh, my gosh.
Everything was perfect.
Yeah.
And I think, I honestly believe to this day that had we won that game, won the national championship, that Coach Woody Hayes might have retired at that point in time at the top. His Archie had made it. I really believe that part of me is like, boy, I'm kind of glad we lost because I wanted that experience of having him be our head football coach. But on the other hand, you look at that ring and it just brings back those memories. So, wow. Really tough.
Oh. Let's get into the game a little bit. Mm-hmm. Of course, 7:30 tonight, it all goes down. A lot of times when you talk about football, sure, you've got your complete teams without a doubt, but usually when it comes to football, one side is usually you have a better offense or defense. Yeah. You can have a complete team. So there's a lot of talk that it's going to be Texas defense versus OSU offense. That's going to be the big story tonight.
That's what I was going to ask. Our offensive line's playing pretty well.
They are.
But are they going to be able to handle that?
Well, and I think the story, Goose, to your point, is that with the explosiveness of what Ohio State has shown the last couple of games, especially, that's got to be the challenge that Texas is looking at. Can their defense hold down the explosive plays? Ohio State knows that they not only need to have those plays, but they need to be able to run the ball successfully. And this is really a good defense against Texas. Guys, the one common denominator of the 4 football teams that were remaining as of last night, all 4 of them are ranked in the top 10 in defense. So that is, they talk about defense wins championships, and teams that will go out and make plays like Notre Dame did last night. Notre Dame got down 10-0.
Yeah.
They had never been a double-digit behind all season long.
Right.
So this was all new territory for them. And we talked about the fact that if they get behind, they're not built to come back. That's not what Notre Dame does best.
That 58-yard touchdown shocked me.
Yet they did. They came back with 17 unanswered points, and then it became a little bit of a shootout at the end. But you've got to play great defense if you want to win a national championship.
And that's what that defensive back did. That was an amazing interception by him. I mean, that was an individual player making a play to get his team in position to move on.
And shame on Penn State for putting their quarterback in a position, and a quarterback, quite frankly, a kid from Ohio, Drew Aller, who is really, really good. But he's not an elite quarterback. He's not a championship quarterback. And he proved that again last night, unfortunately, for that young man. So we'll see what happens with his future.
I think, you've got some amazing players on your team, and you've got some amazing young players on your team, like Jemiah Smith, right?
Mr. Smith.
What do you think, in your professional opinion, when it comes down to a moment like this, at such a young age, how that may play into it mentally?
If he was a normal human being, which he's not,
right,
I would tell you that there is great risk that you could be on a stage that's just too big. But I don't know that there is one for Jeremiah Smith.
Nothing phases him.
No, and I think the ability for him to be here with the leadership of the other receiver, Emeka Egbuka, who has been a great leader, a great role model, a great mentor for him, has given him a chance to be able to grow throughout the season. Take you back to week 1. All right? Everybody thought Jeremiah Smith was special. But here's an 18-year-old kid coming from South Florida, 6'4", 235. We think he's going to be great, but he's never played it down. So, first play of the game, what do? They throw it to him. What's he do?
Took it.
Drops it.
Oh, that one. Yeah,
he drops his first one.
Yes.
Chris Carter, who was another great receiver at Ohio State, record-breaking receiver, he dropped his first pass.
That's right.
That he had. And from then on, it's been unbelievable. The kid has not had a single, knock on wood, drop the rest of the season. If you throw it his way, there are no such thing as 50-50 balls.
Right.
Those are 99 one balls that they throw up because Jeremiah is going to go get them.
But to play devil's advocate here, going against the number 3 defense when it comes to passing yards allowed in the country.
Yep.
Have they played against someone yet of that when it comes to when you've got your star wide receiver, but you're playing a top 3 pass defense?
Didn't we play one last week?
Well, but here, to your point, it narrows.
Yes.
And the cream has come to the top, and you expect that to happen. But I would also suggest to you that Texas has not gone up against a wide receiver like Jeremiah Smith and Emeka Egbuka together.
Fair point.
It's an interesting combination.
By the way, speaking of that defense, okay, look, I think Cameron Scadabo's pretty good running back, but 30 carries for 143 yards last week against Texas, plus 8 catches for 99 yards. That was him. That was what their running back did to Texas last week.
That wasn't a real human being. That was a video game.
Right.
That
and
kid,
so is Jeremiah Smith.
It was silly. I mean, to watch what that kid did by himself against that team, left it all on the field, yet it wasn't good enough to be able to get the win. And, now, I mean, it's going to come down to 1 or 2 plays, unfortunately.
If Arizona State can score 31 on them, Come on.
Makes you wonder. Yeah, and I think that's
on.
why a lot of people are thinking Ohio State 6-point favorite in a game like this. We'll see how it all shakes out.
I know we were favored by 20 against Michigan.
Yeah, doesn't matter. It doesn't. It doesn't.
It really
matter.
does come down to like any given Saturday
execution.
Yeah.
You got to get it done.
I love how we're moving Howard around to give him time. I don't know if we're hiding offensive line deficiencies or if they're just being creative, but some of the things he's doing when he drops back and the way he's moving, I mean, it's beautiful.
Yeah. The offensive line has really firmed itself up, and we're as healthy as any team in the playoff right now, and that's saying something, especially having lost 2 starting offensive linemen in the regular season. So, this is a game at the running back position. We've got 2 back there. Both of them have been sharing duties all season long, so both of them are fresh. So that should be a benefit for Ohio State.
So, Jeff, we got players everywhere. We got ballers all over the field.
Yep.
You got a number of people that can break out and do something amazing. But in your opinion, what is that one chink in the armor? What is that one thing that they really have to concentrate on and make sure they don't mess up?
It's the turnovers.
Yep.
You got to make sure you don't turn the ball over, especially on the short side of the field. Ohio State's defense is number 1 in the country. All right? If you allow your defense to at least go up against a team that has to drive the ball 80 yards down the field in field position, you're going to win this game because Ohio State's defense is so good. If you turn the ball over on the short side of the field, and that's one of the things that Will Howard against Michigan State, against Michigan, against Penn State, made turnovers in their red zone, if you will. All right? So they got the ball on the short side. 1st and goal at the 2. You can't turn the ball over in a championship game or a semifinal game. I think it comes down to that.
Yeah.
Well, talking about Texas's defense, and one thing I said going into the game in the Rose Bowl, that the defense Oregon saw when we played the first time was very different than the one they were going to face on New Year's Day, because this defense has evolved so well. So, it's not just us dealing with Texas's defense. They're going to have to deal with this defense, and it is just flat out nasty. And when you can get some 3 and outs, and then if you get some long drives, their defense becomes not what they were at the beginning of the game.
When you look at the Oregon statistics and you realize that we had 6 quarterback sacks and 8 tackles for a loss.
Oh, my gosh.
And we only blitzed 4 times the entire game.
Mm-hmm.
So that means our regular guys were getting there. They were getting home and making big plays. So I think it'll be a real interesting football game.
I think they need to extend some drives. They need some. They really got to run the clock out.
Yeah. Control the football.
All right. So we last spoke the day before the Tennessee game.
Yep.
Final score of that game was 42-17. You had predicted 38-20. So that was pretty
good.
You like that?
That's excellent.
That's pretty good.
I went 2 years without winning one of these things. So
You didn't go that
I have been
far.
on. Well, it felt like it, but I've been on fire here towards the end of the season.
Then we didn't get together to talk on the air about the Oregon game, but we did text each other our predictions, and the final score was 41-21. And once again, 34-23. Jeff, 2 weeks in a row.
Okay.
You have got both playoff games.
This doesn't happen very often. Kelly's over there licking her grits, thinking I'm going to get after this one. I'm going to jump in. I think Ohio State's a double-digit victory in this game. I'm not being a homer here, but I just believe we got too many weapons out there, and I think the defense is too good. I got the Buckeyes 35-23, similar to some of the scores we saw before. 35-23, Kelly.
I love it.
Oh, you were 34-23 against Oregon.
I know, 35.
All right. Me?
Yes,
Can I
ma'am.
go?
I don't see it written down anywhere.
No, I'm just coming up with it in my head right now.
Wow.
I'm absolutely being a homer. I am going 45.
Whoa.
24.
Okay.
All right. That's a
45-24. That's being a total homer, but I absolutely believe we're going to win this game.
Well, I just realized I have the same score you had for the Tennessee game. I got us winning 38-20.
All right, good enough.
So,
Goose, you jumping in?
You want to give us something there?
You know what? I believe this is going to be one of those games that is a little bit of a shocker in the sense that I think it's going to be a little bit, at this stage, it's going to be more defensive heavy.
Okay, so a lower scoring game?
21-17.
Which team?
The Bucks.
Oh, okay. Hey, man, well, I don't know.
We got to ask. We got to ask.
Yeah, because if you pick the other
I will
team-
say this. Myself, like a lot of professionals, I did pick Texas to win it all this year.
at the beginning?
Yes, the beginning. Before, when the season started, I picked Texas to win it all. I thought it was their year. I thought they were coming in with so many weapons. And then as the season progressed, of course, Bucks hit a couple bumps.
Sure.
But you are in the perfect opportunity now because, like you said, playing the best football you've played all year, Texas has actually slipped a little bit. So it's going to be a good one.
Jeff, I pray I see you in the studio a week from Monday.
I hope that is.
Oh my gosh!
I hope that is the case. I look forward to it, guys. It's been a great season so far, and I don't think we're ready to jump off the train. So, all together, go Bucks! Right?
Go Bucks!
Right.
Yes.
And now, 3 things you need to know before you go.
All right, listen, we do have a timing on the pig attack in Pataskala where the woman died, and we were like, was she dead and the pigs attacked her, or did the pig attack her? So we do have the timeline. Officials are confirming that a Pataskala woman died after she was injured by her neighbor's pigs. Licking County Deputy Coroner Dr. Jeff Lee says Rebecca Westergaard passed away from blood loss because of wounds to her legs that were caused by the animals. Police have not shared any details on possible criminal charges related to the case. The future of TikTok in the U.S. will be up to the Supreme Court, which hears arguments today over an impending ban of the massively popular video platform. Under a law signed last spring, ByteDance, TikTok's Chinese parent company, has to sell the platform by January 19th or be banned in the United States over national security concerns. TikTok is arguing that the law violates its First Amendment rights, so the Supreme Court will be hearing that case. Remember Pizzagate? That wild conspiracy theory that started on 4chan or something, that children were being trafficked out of a Washington, D.C. pizza shop called Comet Ping Pong. Alex Jones was promoting this conspiracy, and it was so heated and got so whipped up that back in December of 2016, on a Sunday afternoon, having driven straight from his home in North Carolina, police say Edgar Welch walked into the restaurant openly carrying an AR-15 style rifle and a revolver. Customers and employees took off running. He then walked up to a locked room where he was sure these kids are being held, right? He's like all believing all of this conspiracy. He fires his rifle multiple times into the door to get it open. Within about 20 minutes, police took him into custody. He pleaded guilty to everything, he was sentenced to 4 years in prison and got out May 2020, right? So everything apparently was going okay until last week when he pulled a gun on a police officer during a traffic stop and was shot and killed. So that's how his life ended.
Yeah, like we were talking about earlier with the butt slapping thing that's going on in New York, it's going to escalate.
You're on a path.
You're on a path.
You've got yourself on a path here. It's going to end somewhere that you don't want to be.
You're so dumb.
My gosh. All right, those are your 3 things.
Blitz Mornings, Goose, Kelly, Thick Rick. My name is Goose. Been hanging out for a couple days. I appreciate it. Thank you for letting me hang out with you guys.
It's been fun, man.
It's been an absolute blast so far.
Come back soon.
I will. Do you have that audio pulled up?
For the commercial?
Yeah. Because texts have been rolling in. Lots of questions. Yeah, I'm here visiting, saying hello. Thank you so much for everyone who's texted. It's been fun talking to you through the text messenger here. But we did get one text. Said, who's this new guy? He sounds like the voice from the Cheez-It commercial.
Oh, really?
That's the first time I've ever heard that.
Cheez-It commercial?
Yeah.
We take the time for our cheese to mature because at Cheez-It, real cheese matters.
Say that line.
We take the time.
At Cheez-It, real cheese matters.
Come take the time for our cheese to mature. We
Cheez-It, real cheese matters.
Cheez-It, real cheese matters.
Time for our cheese to mature because at Cheez-It, real cheese
I
matters.
mean, you really have to put in a big, radio
I would have to do the radio
voice
voice, yeah.
spin on that. Yeah.
Where real cheese matters.
There it is.
Yeah.
All right.
Fans clearly have been.
Look at that. It went right to a Buckeye video. I can't imagine why.
Last night, I was flipping through the interwebs, and I came across a Reddit story that had me cracking up. And it wasn't so much the story itself, it was the answers. Because someone posted on Reddit a very simple question. How long should sex last?
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
There's that voice.
Now we're talking. Ladies, I just want to know.
Oh, my gosh.
How long should sex last?
You waited this long to bring out this voice?
Oh, back in the day, I used to do this a lot on the radio. Ladies, my name is Dirk Moto Moto. I am here for all your pleasurable needs. All right. The question was, how long should sex last? Some of the answers. At least 8 business days. Excuse me? Usually an hour. That includes snacks and a 45-minute nap.
Oh,
6 to 8 weeks at a Diddy party.
Oh.
Okay.
Dang.
Yeah. As long as it took to read your question. Probably my favorite answer. Until mom yells, dinner's ready!
Oh.
Oh, wow.
And did you just get that?
I was like, because I was trying to think of who it was, and it just hit me.
And finally, someone said, depends on the cellmate.
Oh, man.
Ooh.
Yikes.
I'm sorry, but long can be too long for sure.
What's too long?
30 minutes.
30 minutes is too long?
30. I say 30 minutes is a good amount.
Are we talking total time?
Total time.
Talking foreplay, snuggling at the end.
I don't count snuggling at the end.
Well,
that's afterwards.
Okay.
No, I'm talking. I said 30 minutes.
30 minutes.
It's a good.
All right.
It's a good staple. We are getting some texts in. Let's see. Half hour. Lisa says half hour.
That seems like a long time.
Kelly's like, I got TikToks to watch.
Less than 30, Kelly?
I mean, I love like hanging out and all and being together. I really, really do. But 30 minutes, that's a lot of, I don't know.
That includes foreplay.
All right. I don't really like talking sexy talk.
Thick.
It embarrasses me,
Okay,
but
that's
I
all
will
right.
just
Sorry,
say
don't worry about
that feels like
okay.
30 minutes is fine, I guess, for you.
Will you feel more comfortable talking to Dirk Moto Moto?
No, I feel worse talking to Dirk Moto Moto. It makes me feel more self-conscious. The thing is, yeah, I guess when it's all day. Oh, well, never mind. It's all
right. It's okay.
Oh. Kelly.
I'm getting too self-conscious.
You're looking really good with them blush cheeks over there.
Yikes.
Kelly, how long do you like to bake cookies? How long does the recital last when you do the no pants dance? Thick, what do you think?
I was going to say about 40, but that includes like from the start, before the clothes are even off. And I'm not including a nap in that either.
Okay. Let's see. Other text messages rolling in. Dave says, sex is like Chinese dinner. It's not over till you both get your cookies. Okay.
Right.
Good for you.
Yes.
Good for you. Mike says, how long should it last? I don't know. It's a race, and I win every time.
It's a race.
And finally, Doug, I get you. My wife gets a minute for every inch. 3.5 minutes. It's the Morning Blitz. Goose, Kelly, Thick, Rick. Good morning. Welcome to your Friday. Be prepared. Your drive home might be a bit slippery. I know more snow is on the way. They said about 1 o'clock, but I think right now it looks like it's going to be a little bit later, like 3 o'clock.
Yeah.
But it's definitely going to affect
like
that drive
2
home.
to 4 inches, they said.
Yeah, winter weather advisory in effect for Central Ohio, and that's going to run through tomorrow morning as well. Probably, yeah, like you said, going to be a couple inches, and then only a high of 21 tomorrow and 29 on, 29 tomorrow and 31 on Sunday.
Yeah, and so everybody's been talking about it's how it's going to warm up this weekend, and you're like, cool. But then it's going right back down. We're talking highs next week in the teens with lows near zero.
Yeah.
That's what we get next week.
28 is a warm-up.
Well, compared to,
Absolutely. All right, Thick, where'd you find this little article? Or is it just something you thought about?
No, I wasn't Reddit. I saw it. I saw the headline. What was your favorite song? Maybe it was. I think it was just in Google.
Oh,
I was searching something in Google, and it was just one of those things that popped up. You know, it had nothing to do with what you were searching. That happens.
Yep.
And I went, well, that's a great question to ask.
It's always fun to reminisce. And the question is, what was your favorite song when you were 10 years old?
I love it because those are your formative music years. I mean, really, starting around then and going up through your teenage years, I feel like.
Yep, absolutely. So, your favorite song when you're 10 years old. Kelly, what you got?
All right. I will say I'm very, very happy to be able to talk about Cher 2 times this morning.
2 times in one morning.
On the album Dark Lady, it was the 5th track. The last track on side 1 is the title track, Dark Lady, and that was absolutely my jam for the entire year.
Dark lady laughed and danced and lit the candles one by one. Danced to her gypsy music till her groove was strong. Dark lady played black magic till the clock struck on the 12.
Come on.
She told
what you got?
me more
about me than I knew myself. I can sing every single lyric to every single song on this album. I wore this thing out. I was absolutely love Cher to this day. Just that image of her on the album in that long black dress with the black cat, back legs on the shoulder, front legs on the palms of her hands. I absolutely ate that album up.
You wanted to be her.
I wanted to be her daughter because I was jealous of Chastity. I was jealous that Chastity got to come out on stage with her on her show. I was like, to be Cher's daughter, my gosh.
I can see you in like this sheer floating, waving your arms in a mystical way, dancing around to Cher.
I tell you, it was, she was
favorite song when you were 10 years old.
Big present in my life as a kid. Yes.
Okay,
big present.
That's a good one. That's a good one. Vic, what you got? What was your favorite song when you were 10 years old?
Oh, this was so easy for me. First vinyl record I ever bought in my life was Kiss Destroyer.
Okay.
My second album was Kiss Alive 1. The third album was Kiss Alive 2. Joined the Kiss Army, which I thought I was in for lifetime, and Kelly found out that, no, it's an annual membership.
Oops.
So I got my membership card. It didn't have an expiration date on it.
Okay.
You know. And the first song on Kiss Destroyer, the first album I ever bought, you actually don't hear music at the beginning of it. You hear a guy go out and get in his car. You hear him put the keys in the car and start it. And then you hear Kiss. He turns the radio on and Kiss is playing on his radio. Right. And then he takes off and he starts singing about this, what he's doing tonight. And that was Detroit Rock City.
The radio's the only light. I hear my song and it pulls me through. Come on, stone, tell me what I got to do.
That's a good one.
Oh, he played it over and over.
Everybody's gonna leave their seat. You gotta lose your mind with Detroit Rock City.
It's probably my favorite Kiss song.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
And I will tell you this. When I was working in Colorado Springs, I was doing a morning show out there. And it's funny you mention that because I myself am from Detroit. Mm-hmm. I grew up in Detroit.
Yep.
And I spent many years living out in Colorado. I was doing some radio out there. But the thing about Detroit is we've got conies and we've got sliders.
Yeah.
And I missed my Detroit conies and my sliders so much. And as someone who loved to cook, I figured out the coney recipe.
Oh, cool.
And I opened up a very small little restaurant, 25 seats. We served nothing but conies and sliders.
You're kidding.
No. And the name of the restaurant was Detroit Rock City. Well, it's called Rock City Conies and Sliders.
No kidding.
Yep. After Detroit Rock City.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, the many layers of goose.
Yep, absolutely.
We're constantly
had it for
learning
about
more.
a year.
Yeah?
Had it for about a year.
Did you enjoy it, or was it just absolutely a nightmare amount of work?
I loved it, but it was a nightmare amount of work because I would do the morning show. I would leave. We'd open at 11.
Oh.
I'd do the restaurant, scrub the restaurant down, close at 7, go home, shower.
Do it all
over again for years. Yeah, super good.
Yeah, maybe next time you come back, we'll see if we can get him to talk about his brother.
Yeah.
That's a long story
That's
for
a whole
another
other
time,
one for
but
sure.
that's some story.
All right, favorite song over 10. Speaking of being from Detroit, I grew up in the the 80s, the beginnings of hip hop. Were very prevalent in my life as I was growing up. So my favorite song when I was 10 years old, vivid memory of sitting in the backyard with my little boombox playing this song on repeat, on tape, was the remix of Wipeout by the Fat Boys. What are you doing? Little pop lock and drop it. What was the name you gave him, Kelly? Because you couldn't figure out his breakdancing name. What was the
Two Scoops?
Two Scoops. That's right. A little Two Scoops action over there.
He was breaking.
I just love the way they put that beat behind the wipeout.
That is a great breaking beat.
And then, of course, you have to go on to watch the Fat Boys in their cinematic masterpiece, Delirious.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, come on. So, what's yours? 99-700, 800-821-9970. What was your favorite song when you were 10 years old? Let's see. We got a couple already rolling in. The Cha-Cha Slide. How old are you? That song's only 10 years old, right? Jamie says mine was probably Vogue or Strike a Pose. Yeah, a little Madonna action.
Yeah. Oh, gosh. Yeah, that was a good one.
It's the Morning Blitz. Goose, Kelly, Thick Rick. Good morning. Welcome to your Friday. Talking about this little question that popped up on the interwebs that Thick found. It said, what was your favorite song when you were 10? Kelly, of course, you went with Cher.
Cher, Dark Lady. That was my jam.
Thick, you had
Detroit Rock City by Kiss.
Yeah, the best Kiss song. Yeah.
Man, and the car crash in the song. I forgot about the car crash. You actually hear the car crash.
I had the Wipeout by Fat Boys.
Fat Boys.
That version.
Love the Fat Boys.
Texts are rolling in.
Oh, I'm sure.
Let's start with Aubrey, who, like you, Kelly, enjoys herself some Britney Spears.
Oh, yes.
Hit Me Baby One More Time.
Love that song.
This is a good one.
I mean, I'll sing it. Yeah, okay, there we go.
You're not going to sing it?
I will. I'll try to keep it to myself. Oh, baby, baby.
We don't want you to keep it to yourself.
But you got to get that little nasal in there. Oh, baby, baby. Let's see.
Man, you're really talking over the best part of this song. Something wasn't right.
Oh, baby, baby.
The fact that there's a best part of the song.
You're right.
The video,
well, the video's great.
Although, yeah, Sporty Spice Britney Spears in the gymnasium.
Yeah.
Not gonna lie. Let's see, Sherry. Sherry says, don't stop believing. Little Journey in there. Absolutely. Who can't go wrong with Journey? Although, I will say,
you can get a lot that can go wrong with a little Journey.
As someone from Detroit, there is no South Detroit.
Oh my gosh, you're another one of those. All right, we get it. We said it wrong. We did it wrong.
Is Detroit not have directions? I mean, is it a flat
Yes, but
line?
if you go south of Detroit, you end up in Windsor,
Canada. You didn't say south of Detroit.
No, he said South Detroit. There is no South Detroit.
There's not a south end of Detroit.
No.
There's a border. If you go to Windsor, what were you in before you got to Windsor?
You are on the east side of Detroit.
Well, I don't understand. There's north, there's west, there's east. Every state has a side.
Not when the state is curved the way it's. Anyways, moving along. Get in this argument all day. Let's see.
Oh wait,
Chris said. I'm sorry.
No, in Wikipedia it says the South End is the official student newspaper of Wayne State University in Detroit. Maybe that's what they were referring to. The South End newspaper.
I mean, there's no official city called South Columbus, but we have a South End that's called South Columbus.
But the thing is,
ask anyone from Detroit. There's no South Detroit.
Oh, this is just for you guys to get upset about.
No, I'm saying you do have the official last word on this because you are a Detroit guy. Like, you know Detroit,
right?
So you get the last word on this.
Okay.
There's no South.
There's
no South Detroit.
There's no South Detroit.
Oh, all right, we got it for sure.
Chris says "Wanted Dead or Alive" by Bon Jovi. That's a good one too. I mean, we're talking Young Guns 2.
Oh.
Right?
No, that's off Slippery When Wet. Young Guns 2 was...
oh, that's the other one.
Shot down!
No, Blaze of Glory.
Blaze of Glory,
yeah.
Oh,
good choice.
Love that song. Great one.
Talk about a band selling their soul on an album.
Oh, love it.
Enormous, gigantic, massive album.
The huge commercial hit.
Oh, with the Slippery When Wet, the whole thing.
Favorite
that
song?
was Living on a Prayer. That was, you give love a bad name. I mean, Raise Your Hands.
That's a big one for sure. Favorite song when you were 10 years old? Sherilyn says, Don't Speak by No Doubt.
Oh, yes. What a great album that was.
Little Gwen action.
Oh, I love that. Don't speak. And I'm just saying.
Jeff says, The Eruption, You Really Got Me. That's a good one.
Solo.
Oh, I like this one. Is it JD? JD says...
JD Marie?
Yeah. Says, when I was 10, I have to say, Lisa and the Cult Jam, head to toe. Wow. I remember dancing to that one.
Ooh, baby, I think I love you from head to toe.
That's a good one.
Ooh, baby, I think I love you from head to toe.
I remember this.
Kim chimes in with...
Sorry.
Kim chimes in with, Goose, set them straight. I'm from the Flint area.
Thank you.
She is on your side.
Thank you very much. Let's see. What else we pull up over there? We've got...
Queen.
How about
the
this?
Queen one.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
I'm all about Queen.
I can't find the
Go
text
for
message
it.
here.
Well, let me just say Courthouse Sean says Cars by Gary Newman, which was an incredible one, right?
Yep.
In Cars.
Are the champions, my friend.
Off the air we were talking about musical biopics, movies that have been made about some of our favorite musicians.
Yeah.
And they did such an amazing job with Bohemian Rhapsody. That is up there as one of the best movie biopics.
Agreed. Now, hardcore fans will like to really debate you on the timeline depicted, but I will say that was an excellent movie. An excellent movie. Rami Malek, he was amazing in that.
Yeah.
I agree with you.
Really good job. Kim, another break in the wall. I will say, reading through some of these have made me feel a bit older because there are so many here that are from the 2000s. I was like, wait, you were 10?
Oh.
10 in the 2000s?
Yeah.
Casey says, Don't You Forget About Me, Simple Minds. Great song.
Oh, yeah.
Great song. Steve says, Betty Davis Eyes. James, Crazy Train. That is a great one.
Hello. Did you guys skip over Big Balls? This person said, my cousin and I would march around our grandparents' house singing it as loud as we could.
I've got big balls. I've got big balls.
This is what made me buy Dirty Deeds,
Yes.
which was the fourth album I bought after the Three Kiss albums.
Yes. Those
Wait a minute. We don't get we got the biggest balls of them all. That's the best part.
I just said, look, I'm trying to gather all these songs
I know,
up.
I'm sorry. I'm making a lot of demands over there.
Text roll in. You can't grab
Did
songs
I have a
as
Bob
fast as it's
Seger?
written.
You had a
Oh,
Bob
there was.
Seger?
Yeah, there was a Bob Seger. Turn the page in there. Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, man, one of the greatest saxophone songs ever.
Oh, you give me a sexy sax and I'm in. That's why I love Careless Whisper so much. This makes me want to put on a trench coat, light a cigarette, and put one foot up on a light pole at the corner of the road.
Makes me think, damn, he could have been my dad.
Thick's mom dated Bob Seger. We don't know if he might be Bob Seger's son.
No, it was before.
We still don't know.
No. It was before he got. This was
Linda,
in the 60s
text
when
us-
she went to
Okay.
Ohio State.
Okay.
He'd come play the Sugar Shack.
There was no breakup, and then they got back together at some point and wound up with a
You
little thick
always
Rick.
have XX. Come
I mean,
on.
seriously. Now, hey, Metallica did a great cover of this.
Oh, yeah.
Turn the page. I thought it was excellent.
They did do a good cover. I could see a little Seeger in the face. Thick. I'm not going to lie.
I see it in the attitude.
I say a little 23andMe action is in the future.
I
That's
do.
what I'm thinking.
I do too.
Ooh.
Get a piece of that Seeger action, man.
It's the Morning Blitz. Goose, Kelly, Thick Rick. Boy, you ask people to reminisce a little bit, and they jump all over it.
I can't keep up with them.
The text is still rolling in. We were talking about your favorite song when you were 10 years old.
And since
I can't even find some of the... We rattle them off, but the texts are
I know,
coming
they
in
keep
so
coming
fast,
in.
I can't keep up with them.
We did mention that Thick's mom dated Bob Seger for a time, and we were curious about whether Thick was an offspring of Bob Seger. But anyway, she's going to say hers. Hers is Mac the Knife. That's
my
what she
mom's?
was listening to when she was out. I love that song. Very cool, Mama Linda.
Who's the name of did that?
Bobby Darin.
Darren, that's right.
Yep.
Yeah.
What are some of the ones you pulled up there? We had
Styx, Come Sail Away. Mario has that.
yeah.
Oh, I love that song. Styx.
Styx, yep.
Yes.
You guys.
Yes.
You guys. That's a good one.
Ooh, Josh came in with a good one from back in the day. Putting on the...
I was playing it back tonight.
Oh.
Go ahead, Kelly. What was it?
Do I like to hear put a little bit of Mac the Knife here?
Where's old Maggie? So there's never a trace of red.
Oh my gosh, that gives you the
You
feel.
have to snap to this song.
Oh, I love it.
Ooh, sunny
Josh says, Putting on the Ritz by Taco.
Taco, absolutely.
Yes.
If you're blue and you don't know where to go to, why don't you go where fashion sits? Putting on the Ritz.
Although by far the best version has to come from Young Frankenstein.
Yeah,
Putting on the Ritz.
Yes.
We got a Rush, Closer to the Heart.
Oh, yeah,
Okay.
Yeah. That was a good one. Oh.
You know, I've learned something over the past couple years. Growing up, I did not fully appreciate Rush like I should have.
Oh, really?
It's only been probably the past 3 or 4 years that I've really started to appreciate Rush. And I'm very glad I have.
It's funny because, doing radio for a long time, you get into music discussions.
Yeah.
And you'll have as many people say Rush is such an amazing band, and then you'll have people turn around and go, "Oh, I can't stand Rush. Oh, I don't want to hear Rush." And it's and it's just people's ear.
I'll be the first to admit, some of it does go a little too far for me.
How dare you?
I like the early stuff like this. I mean,
But
I
a
love Rush.
full appreciation for what they do, and probably one of, if not the greatest band drummer of all time.
Well, but it's not. I mean, Alex Lifeson is so underrated as a guitar player, and
Wait, who's underrating Alex Lifeson? He's
I just
amazing.
don't. I don't hear a lot of when people talk about great guitar players. I don't hear his name in the discussion.
Yeah,
I don't hear Geddy Lee in the bass discussion.
No.
I mean,
really?
You did hear Neil Peart. Yeah.
Neil Peart. I mean, people will argue he was the greatest for the rest of their lives.
But I definitely have heard Geddy come up in the conversation before.
I don't know. Maybe it's just the ones I'm getting.
All right, so our buddy Neil Parks came in with an excellent one. I loved this song growing up, and it really got a lot of hate. Captain and Tennille, Muskrat Love.
Oh my God,
Muskrat Susie.
Do I?
Muskrat
I don't know
Sam.
if I can find that. I mean,
that one's.
Do the jitterbug out of Muskrat Land, and they shimmy.
Kelly will sing it. There you go.
Right.
Kelly's got it for
got
you.
it right there. Oh, I love this pick. Where did it go? Someone said anything by Weird Al.
Yes. Yes.
That's funny.
Y-O-D-A, Yehoda. Yoda.
All right, here's Doug's.
Check out the hook when my DJ performs it.
Ice, baby. Ice, baby.
That's probably on a lot of people's list.
Fun fact, the first hip-hop song ever to go number one.
I love it.
Is that right?
Mm-hmm.
No kidding.
Yep. First ever. And he is making bank.
Oh, yeah. Forever. Forever.
Well, it's not even from music. He is an amazing real estate developer.
Oh, yeah. I've seen his...
He owns so much property. Yeah. Good
it's
for him.
It's a hell of a concept.
Oh, this was a good choice.
See, this is one of those ones that makes me feel old, though.
I feel like it just came out last year.
How is this your favorite song when you were 10?
Because it's almost 30 years old.
It just feels so new.
Right.
I'm like,
anytime I hear it, I'm like, yeah, no, this was not that long ago.
Okay. I'm sorry, 35 years old. It came out in 1990.
Nice.
Yes.
Time flies when you're having fun.
1990.
This was before, Smells Like Teen Spirit.
Oh, it was all around the same time, I think. Teen Spirit, let me see.
That doesn't seem right. Okay.
This person said the Black Album hit when I was about 10, and Wherever I May Roam was my jam.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah,
Yes.
that's a great one. That's a great one.
Aaron says Eye of the Tiger. Monica says My Sharona. Oh, the Knack.
The Knack? Can't go wrong with that. Absolute good
Rock
one.
of Ages by Def Leppard, says Ron. Oh, you guys. You're giving me all kinds of feelings here.
Nevermind dropped to 91 1 year later.
So this was before Nevermind?
1 year. Yeah.
Okay. There was always so much talk about how Nevermind broke the mold and really brought that grunge sound, which, Alice in Chains kind of fell into, so I can see that.
They definitely are.
All right.
But, yeah. Go ahead.
No, please.
I was just going to say, everybody, thank you guys. I mean,
Yes.
I wish we could play clips of all of them, but we
Can't
would
keep
be
up with
here
everything.
until, next Tuesday, so.
And now, the 3 things you need to know before you go.
A complaint filed by Columbus Teachers Union says new Board of Education President Michael Cole recently confronted a teacher and made her cry. The complaint references an incident that reportedly happened at Independence High School back in November. Apparently, a new board president, Cole, requested to see the teacher one-on-one while touring the school, and then is accused of admonishing her for making public comments about overcrowding at the building during a board meeting prior to his visit. So he didn't like what she said at the board meeting, so he got her alone and apparently made her cry, allegedly. Now, Board of Education President Cole has not issued a public response to this complaint so far.
So you said she publicly complained about overcrowding in the classrooms?
Yes, but she didn't just go out and announce it to the news. She was at a board meeting and she said, "Hey, our school is overcrowded here. Our classrooms are overcrowded." She did it in an appropriate way.
Right.
That's where you make those complaints.
Yeah.
He didn't like it, apparently. And this is all alleged. All alleged, but he apparently there was this confrontation, and that's not cool.
When the people with boots on the ground are going to the higher ups, the school board, telling you there's a problem with the schools, you can't be offended by that.
Right,
They're trying
exactly.
to-
No, this is like politicians. They want to, control the narrative. They want to make it seem like everything's fine when it's not. When it comes to everything,
It's truly amazing in our current, as it's grown, the 24/7 news cycle, the cameras everywhere. These school board meetings and these city council meetings, man. The things that go on in those
fireworks.
meetings is unbelievable, and the way that some of these board members or city council members are acting.
I mean, you can't intimidate people from being able to speak their mind at a meeting where that's what you're supposed to do.
And going back to what you were just saying, with all the news outlets and all the social media, everything is seen and heard everywhere. You can't just constantly lie. You can't.
Yep, absolutely.
President-elect Donald Trump will be sentenced this morning, appearing remotely in a Manhattan court after the Supreme Court yesterday rejected Trump's request to block it. In the 5-4 ruling, the court's 3 liberal justices, joined by Justice Amy Coney Barrett and Chief Justice John Roberts, said Trump could still appeal the sentence. Trump's team says he is protected by presidential immunity, but Judge Juan Merchan ruled it did not apply since Trump was not president when he falsified business records to hide a payment to Stormy Daniels ahead of the 2016 election, and he isn't president now, so his presidential immunity does not cover this. Trump, Judge Merchan, and the Supreme Court all note that Trump will not receive any time behind bars. So that is not at play here. He's not going to go to jail or anything. But, I think Trump wanted to avoid this, and he cannot. So far, it has not been an easy trip to the Cotton Bowl for some Buckeye fans. As snowy and icy conditions hit Dallas yesterday, there was a full ground stop at DFW for several hours, leading to a number of cancellation and delays. Some planes diverted, people having to arrange alternatives to ultimately getting to the stadium in Dallas. 10 TV has this story online today of a family who decided that they would fly into Raleigh, North Carolina, and then make the 17-hour drive to Dallas. They said, "We're not eating these expensive tickets. We want to go to the game, and we will get there by hook or by crook."
That's the thing. I think all of us may have been in the position where you get to the airport, you're ready for your family vacation or your couple's getaway for the long weekend or maybe for a week. The plane gets delayed. It's very frustrating. You lose out on half a day or a full day of vacation. That's a bummer. But if you specifically bought tickets for a football game that you're dying to see, and not cheap tickets either.
Right.
And here's the thing. The airline isn't going to care.
No.
You're not getting a refund. You're not getting vouchers because you missed a football game. Oh, I'm absolutely jumping in the car and making the drive.
Yeah.
Even if I get there at kickoff, I'm still making that drive.
Now, as of right now, most departures out of DFW are landing on time right now, but that doesn't include people trying to reschedule for a flight in. However, if you're trying to get out of DFW, 90% of the departures are delayed. Either delayed slightly or significantly. So they're not taking off from DFW, but they are landing. So that's good news.
I was once delayed on a plane by the weather, and they told us we're trying to de-ice the plane. I'm like, I'm sitting on a plane. You're de-icing the plane. I want off this plane.
They do it. No, they do it all the time.
It happens all the time.
Yeah,
I
know, but it was the first
procedure.
time for me. I'm like, man, what are we doing?
I like the fact where I've been on the plane. I'm sure a lot of people have seen this. You got the window seat, and it's somewhere around the wing.
Yeah.
And next thing you know, there's a guy, the ladder comes up.
Yes.
And all you see is, and he pulls out tape.
Yes.
And slaps it on the wing. And you're like, wait, time out.
Right.
Hold on. Now, here's the deal. They do it is aviation tape. That's
I know.
what it's used. But watching someone pull out a roll of something that looks like duct tape and you're about to take off.
You're like, I know we always say that duct tape fixes everything. We don't really believe it.
Right.
You know?
Yeah, that's wild. All right. Those are your 3 things.